Scharla, first of all, I want to apologize for sending this so late. I know there's nothing that can excuse this, so I'm willing to accept any late penalties that may occur. The reason I'm recording this is um, I've done audio um, commentary along with my presentation, but that doesn't seem to be uploading to YouTube. So I'm just gonna upload a talk through to YouTube through my presentation in case um, when the I'm also going to attach the presentation in my email in case that the audio doesn't come through in the email. So hopefully what should happen is that as you're looking through the slides, I'll be able to offer on-site commentary. So today, as you know, my name is Darryl Ferguson. My FSC ID is FRID1603, and today I'll be talking about geography and culture, specifically the countries that have influenced me and how I've influenced the world. To start off, my first country I'm going to be talking about is the US. And why did I choose the US? I chose it because, well, I was actually born in the US. I was born in New York, Staten Island, 1997. So that's not really important. What is important is how it affected me. Even though I only stayed there for 2 years, um, due to me staying there and also subsequently staying in other in East African countries, I ended up losing touch with my home country, where my parents are from, Ghana. Not in the sense that I don't visit, but in the sense that I can't really speak the local language. And though it's both a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because as a result of me traveling a lot with my mom, my English ended up being quite proficient and I can get by with a little Swahili. However, it does get awkward at family reunions when people will greet me in a local language tree of the local language of Ghana and I can't understand them. Right, veering of course. Back to culture. Now, obviously, one of the first things I noticed in retrospect is that the culture in America is quite different compared to Western Africa, and even so, Canada. Um, for example, each state is quite different. What I can remember of New York and what I've seen of New York looking back is that it's quite different from the other state I lived in, Maryland, where it was more quieter, more of a community feel rather than the hustle and bustle of the city. I think that's due to the geography of the area, that it's less urbanized in the sense that there's not skyscrapers everywhere, but it's still, it's still a city of sorts. Moving on to the next country, which would be Kenya. Kenya played a big role in my life. I've lived there for 4 years, still can speak Swahili. In terms of culture, Kenyans are proud of their culture. Everybody knows the Maasai. If you're thinking of going to a trip to Africa, you think of Kenya usually with all the safaris and things. Other than that, their food culture is quite different from West Africa. Um, West Africans generally their food is more spicier. That's a general thing. Most common staple dish in Kenya would I'd say be pilau, which is a rice dish, which is made with, to my knowledge, spices and coconut milk, at least the ones that I've had. Compared to the other East African countries I've been to, which are Uganda and Tanzania, um, Kenyan people, they're sort of like the big brother of East Africa in that sense. That their economy is doing well. They're a large exporter of tea due to their soils being very good for growing the plants. Um, Unfortunately, I don't remember much aside from that, as left Kenya when I was 6. Moving on, the next country that affected me greatly is Nigeria. And Nigeria, the culture, it's very proud of itself. They have great parties, they have very elaborate headdresses and traditional wear. It's very vibrant, like a lot of countries in Africa. Um, and that's, I think it's for that reason why Ghanaians and Nigerians often get confused. As in East Africa, I found a common occurrence is that it was assumed that because I was from West Africa, I was from Nigeria, and I had to correct people a lot of times that I was actually Ghanaian and explain the difference. Um, the difference being that, first of all, we're not neighbors in terms of geography, and also the culture is different. And this is due to, I won't say more or less our colonizers, but rather just the way we are as people. In terms of Nigeria, it's landlocked, whereas Ghana has the coast, so there's more of a fishing towards the coast where the sun capital is Accra. There's more of a fishing culture of living off the land, whereas Nigeria, its culture, I don't know how to describe this, but I would say that it's similar, but it's more. I know it's more like lavish than Ghanaians. Even though Ghanaians do have the golden ceremonies where, due to our large abundance of gold, we wear gold and jewelry in traditional wear, at least the royals, noblemen who do. And also, Ghanaians compared to Nigerians are a bit more reserved, and there is a large argument about our staple food, or one of the most popular foods at least, is called jollof, which is a rice dish, which is rice cooked in tomato stew and added with spices and onions. And it's been a continuing feud about which one is better, Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof. Right, going not to go astray here. In terms of geography and culture, they're in all places like they're quite intertwined. I think if Ghana wasn't on the coast, its culture would be quite different, as we do depend a lot on fish, and fish is quite popular in Ghana. And moving on to my last country, Tanzania. Tanzania is sadly overlooked. This is largely due to people confusing it for Kenya, or at least thinking it's just kind of like a little brother of Kenya. And just because Tanzanians also speak Swahili, however, theirs is different in that the fact it's slower. And there's kind of a rivalry between Kenyans and Tanzanians, because I think it's due to the fact that for quite a while, Kenyans were passing off Mount Kilimanjaro as theirs when actually it's split between Tanzania and Kenya. So Tanzanians are still a bit bitter about that. However, in terms of the people, they're nice, I would say, relaxed, laid back. I think this is mostly due to the influence of having Zanzibar right next door, as it's a great vacation spot. Um, their culture, I would say, unfortunately, I know a little about their culture. It's similar to Kenya, however, they have different beliefs as well. They have different tribes, of course. Um, the main tribe I know of, actually, I don't know of many. I haven't been around that lot. But to conclude, here are my references, and I thank you for your time.